Immersive Gamer 83, and thank you very much.
Watching VR Gamer Evolve.
What's up, guys? Billy over at Pretty Neat VR.
Cooking and good looking. Welcome back.
Hello, and welcome back to another Reality Check VR video.
Oh no. That's crazy. Is it really working now? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes. Okay, now they can hear stuff. So, wow, epic fail here in the beginning of our podcast. But, we'll get through it. It's all how it works. So
I'll go ahead and edit that part out. Nobody will know except for the people that are watching right now.
yes. So it's our secret. I'm telling you.
Welcome back to another Reality Check / VR Gamer Dude, VRSpies Exposed, number 42 episode. We're going to be talking about Oculus Go coming soon, as well as, is VR dead?
No, VR's not dead.
No, it couldn't be. Couldn't be. And we were talking about the fact that there's nobody else here right now. So Yeah, if you're wondering why that is, we are too. If you guys are watching this, get your butts in here right now.
Yeah.
And then we also talked briefly. I do want to jump on this because we talked a little bit about Sad Gamer Dad and about how he had an alt space show.
Yeah, I was thinking that's
UKRifter
where
was
Chris
teaching us.
might be right now, finishing up the show over there in Altspace with Sad Gamer Dad. He's a friend of the VRSpies, and I tell you what, I did his first show about 2-3 weeks ago. He's got an interesting show called Behind the Screens, and basically the premise of it is that he's dual streaming, so he's actually in Altspace while he's playing a game on the big screen. But with both applications running, you actually see the avatars in Altspace miming out what's going on in the game. So it's kind of interesting.
It does sound interesting. I say the one thing I mentioned is I think it would be difficult to do that with a normal GPU running 2 games at once. But
I did it. We played Bridge Commander, and I was using my my GTX 1070 for that, and it actually handled it quite well.
Good to hear. It's good to hear. I say I did finally do an upgrade from the 980 SC superclock to the 1080 Ti, so I can certainly tell most of my VR experiences were a little bit short of what they could have been without that upgrade. So I'm certainly glad that I finally made that adjustment and can feel the difference. Super sampling is real.
Oh yeah, man, it's a significant change once you get off of the 980. I mean, even when I went from the 980 Ti to just the 1070, I was able to bump that super sampling up a little bit better, and just instant change. I mean, it was like a whole different experience, getting that clarity and that sharpness. Yeah. So
definitely. The sharpness is what I noticed most of all. I think in the worlds, just that little bit of differences from real life and the game world is sharpness. A lot of times, and yeah, you get that clarity, and it's incredible. Especially like with Echo Arena, I've been playing that with like 1.5, and it's like, okay, I can definitely tell it's a lot different from what I was experiencing before. Plus, when I record, and then at the same time you try to I guess play the game at 90 frames playing, 60 frames recording. It just doesn't work on a 980 SC, unfortunately. But with the 1080 Ti, it's keeping up. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
finally in the elite club with you guys in the 1,000 club.
Well, I'm still rocking a 1070, and that was courtesy of our friend Ben. So, but I gotta say, it does make a big difference going into that 10 series card with the extra VR features that it brings. So, welcome to the club, man, the 10 club.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Glad to have
and just want to shout out again, Game Hard, if you're in here, man, jump on into chat with us. Let us know what you've been doing. We'd love to hear from you. Chris, if you're still doing the show with Sad Gamer Dad, that's cool. Just your spot's gone. Can't come back in. You're no longer. Your spot's gone. I blocked it with my hand, and he can't jump in now. So anyway, I did want to talk about a few different things today. Obviously, we've got a few games launching very soon, and we've got a few products launching here very soon. One of them being, I do want to touch on just really quickly, Oculus Go. If you guys haven't heard much about that is something that is really occupying my mind lately. I would love to do some developments for it. At the same time, it is going to be that all-in-one headset for $200. And for that, you don't need to have a phone. You can just have the headset, and it just connects to the Oculus Home. And you can play pretty much all Gear VR type games with it without having to have, like I said, any other device. And the lenses are supposed to be superior to what we have right now in the Oculus. And not only that, but for the price, this thing seems like a winner and a great way to push VR forward. So this kind of goes into that is VR dead / that category of is this the kind of product that's going to help get the average person into it? It's because obviously a high-end machine such as the CB1, you have to have the computer and all that extra stuff, so I'm kind of wondering the people that are watching what they think. And Don, what are your thoughts? Do you think this Oculus Go is a gimmick, or do you think it's a great product?
Well, I mean, because I've used my Gear VR up until recently, because I dropped and broke the screen of my phone, and now it looks really horrible in the Gear VR. So yes, not having to have something like that happen and take me out of my mobile VR experience because the screen is already in there. It's not something that I'm putting in, taking out. I think that right there is going to help push the adoption even further when you start to have that ease of use factor come into it. It is truly at that point grab and go. No pun intended, or pun completely intended. I don't know. But, you know, the fact that I still have to take my phone out of my case, I've got to put it in. Sometimes when you put it in, well, the little connector doesn't go in all the way. So then you got to take it back out. Sometimes the controller doesn't pair. So there's always been little annoyances with the Gear VR that I think Go is going to supersede tremendously. As far as the quality of experiences, I mean, we're seeing a lot of really good quality stuff come into the Gear VR. When you think about it being 2 to 3 years into its life cycle now, when we start back with the the early Innovator Edition for the Note 4, the developers are finally starting to get their legs in that mobile space and really starting to finally push that hardware. Well, you know, on Android, you've got a lot of different things like when you go into, say, the Daydream stuff, you got a lot of different phones that can run Daydream. At least with the Oculus Go, as it was with the Gear VR product here, you are developing for a central set of hardware. You know that hardware is going to always be the same in that Go. So I think it's going to allow developers to push that envelope even further.
Right. No, I think that you're absolutely right when you're talking about that kind of stuff. It's one product that I'm looking forward to, not only just to use because of its ease, but like you said, developing for. It's kind of it's exciting because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be into VR for the very first time using this device, and it's going to give them a great experience. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that ability to track, so there's no sensors on the actual Oculus Go. You can't walk around your room with this device. Mm-hmm. But for seated experiences and for hospitals, for not only for certain movie theater situations, but for flights, these are going to take over. I've already seen some. Actually, I can't remember exactly which airline it was, but it was just last night. There was an airline that was talking about how they were going to be doing VR for their business class, so they could have the ability to watch VR films or experience VR games. And I'm sure they're using Gear VR for that. I didn't read who they're using. But that's
no. I mean, they're using the Gear VR and I mean those mobile solutions a lot in those situations. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. But Go, like I said, I mean, I really think it's gonna push it forward. The other thing that you touched on when you were kind of introducing, the specs of it, is the new lenses, and that's something that I really want to see. I want to see how Oculus has more refined this Fresnel hybrid lens that they have, because they did say that it should reduce some of the light artifacts or the God rays that we all call them. So that in itself right there is one of the things that I still truly love about my Gear VR is just using the standard non-Fresnel lenses. You don't get all of the light streaking and the God rays. So I think for that in itself, if you clear up those lenses, you get that higher resolution. For a media device, this thing's going to be second to none.
Right, absolutely. And Billy is in chat, and also I see we got
Greg,
a new guy. We got Greg.
Hello.
What's up, Greg?
Not too bad.
I see Billy's in chat. Billy, you need to jump in here too, buddy.
I know we got Gamehard in chat. We got Billy in chat. Come on, guys,
They
get
are
in.
talking about the echo, so hopefully, is the echo bad, guys, or is it just there a little bit?
No, if it's bad, it's probably me.
Go make him.
Like I said, my headphones were tied up downstairs, and
Go will be perfect for hospital use. I think Billy, he's working with some VR stuff in different medical areas as well. So I'm sure he could use a few. Oculus, send some of those to Billy. It's going to be really useful for him and doing what he's doing. Sad Gamer Dad is in chat. Also, could you let us know what you did with Chris? We're missing a UKRifter. Have you seen him, buddy?
Nope, I see him. He's joining right now.
All right. Oh, it's happening. It's getting serious, guys.
It's happening.
So
people are coming in. It's real.
So the podcast is going to be a little shorter today because we wanted to do some recordings. There is some games that are going to be dropping here very soon, and I will go ahead and I guess maybe I could wait for. No, we're going to start talking about it right now. From Other Sons is going to be dropping. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that one. I've been waiting to play it. I haven't played it since OC4, but I've been waiting to play it with you guys, and hopefully we'll get to do that very soon.
Maybe really soon.
maybe today.
Maybe in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. The open beta weekend for it was fantastic, and that's when I got my first taste of it. But I still have yet to play it in multiplayer. All I've ever done is play it solo. So this is going to be really an awesome experience, having us all on the ship together and raiding. And I mean, I really think that Gunfire has knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah. Like you were saying about the multiplayer, I've managed to jump in with Chris and have a look at 2-player multiplayer, but getting more players in there is going to add to the fun, obviously, so I'm quite looking forward to this.
So you can have how many people? 4?
I'm not sure. I think it's 4, Caleb. Don't quote me 100% on that. I think it is 4.
3. I thought you could have teams of 3.
I've played with at least 3 people before when I was at OC4. I had 2 of the developers jump in with me, and it was interesting. So you've got a certain amount of characters on a ship. I do know this. So, like, let's say your ship has, 4 people on the ship, right? And if you die, you become another person that's on your ship. It's not already a real person, right? Or, taken over by another guy. And then if all the people die on your ship, you can still come back. You just come back as a robot or as an android then. So I'm not really even sure how many people can be in there or what the limit of people is, but that's what we're hoping to find out very, very soon. And a lot of people, everybody's going to find out here. Is it on the 13th or 14th?
I believe it's 13th.
Yeah, see, I think it changed. So from what I can see here, it says co-op or single play, built for 3-player drop-in co-op action
Drop in.
for a great solo experience. So, yeah, you can actually do 1 to 3, it looks like. So, we can still play or take some turns. The thing about Sundays is a big day for VR, guys.
Oh, yeah, it's VR day.
You got the VR Day, VRSpies podcast. You got the Echo Arena does its ESL tournaments on Sundays. So,
talking of ESL, I've been playing a new game lately, which is... It's a really weird one. It's not something I expected to like, but it's actually some of the most fun I've had in VR in a long time. It's called Racket Fury. It's table tennis, which is why I didn't expect to like it. But that game has some of the most amazing physics I've seen in a sports game.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah, I sat and played it for 2 hours solid. And I haven't had a chance to do any recordings yet, but I'm planning on trying to do that tonight at some point.
Yeah. No, I've definitely been wanting to check that one out. I was talking to Caleb before we started the show. One that I checked out last night that I did not expect to like as much as I did is Adventure Golf VR, the little mini golf. But I'll tell you why I liked it. You can totally take a putter and just strap your touch controller to it, and it lines up perfectly in the game. So you're freaking playing putt-putt golf in your living room. It's insane.
If only I had a putter.
And I've got a video of that. Should be coming out tomorrow for anybody who's interested to see it. But yeah, I mean, I got my dad's old putter out in the garage. I was tinkering around in the garage. I saw it. I had just installed the game and played it. Just, you just don't feel the weight of the club. And that's
what's this game called?
Really messed with my head. It's like, okay, I can play this game, and I love playing putt-putt. I take the kids to play putt-putt all the time. But it just, without the weight of the club, it just felt weird. And it just 2 and 2. And the way that it lines up in the game, you can actually size the putter dynamically. So you just put it on the floor, you size it to where it's perfect, and boom, you've got a 1-to-1 tracked VR peripheral.
What is the game called again?
Adventure Golf VR.
Yeah, I actually had a go at that as well, Don, and I might give you a little idea a go because I really liked the game, but I found it very, very difficult without any weight on the touch controller.
Exactly, and that's
to
why
get an accurate shot. Yeah.
I mean, it just the having the weight of the club all of a sudden made it just feel real. I mean, you were there playing mini golf. It was insane.
I'm putting the mini golf on the screen so people can see this amazing mini golf game. Yes, and birds and
dinosaurs and spooky trees, and I don't know. It's got 3 courses. So you've got the prehistoric course, you've got the adventure course, and you've got the sci-fi. The sci-fi course is like you're in freaking Virtual Boy Tron. I mean, it's all red and black. It's definitely kind of has that Virtual Boy nostalgia to it. But yeah, and then the dancing Tron. I'll say no more. It's kind of funny.
It's excellent.
On the subject of these two sports games that we've just been talking about here, though, Adventure Golf and Racket Fury, one thing that I did notice with Racket Fury is there's no free demo on Oculus, but there is on Steam, and this is something that I think Oculus are going to have to address at some point. It seems completely weird that you can go and get a free demo of a game on Steam, not on Oculus.
Well, I mean, I guess in turn, though, with Oculus's refund policy now, though, couldn't you essentially
because you can abuse that, and they will take away your privilege.
I'm just saying that I thought that was talked about as being used as a.
No, they can take it away from you if you abuse it. As in, if you're downloading game, delete, download, refund, you get it taken away. And it's the same with Steam. Steam reserve the right to take your refund privileges away.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think all games, I mean, coming up from back in the day, you always had a demo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think all these games, especially virtual reality games, need to have that demo content.
So this Racket Fury game, is this like something you play multiplayer with your buddies as well?
At the moment, no, but they do have a big banner at the top of the screen when you're in game saying multiplayer coming soon. So I'm looking forward to that.
Just a really spot-on table tennis type game, huh?
Yeah, physics are so an AI is like playing a professional table tennis player. It's rock solid difficult. It's got a simulation
too.
There's 3 environments. One of them's a sort of planet-based thing where you're floating in an arena in the universe. You've got 2 other sort of arenas. Physics, rock solid, simulation mode, arcade mode. Arcade mode brings in things like streaking on the ball, so you'll see the trajectory of the ball. And I actually found that very handy, as the AI is super, super difficult. So sort of easing yourself in with ball trajectory was very, very nice.
You're not going to say anything. I would use that mode. I would definitely use that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we got to say hey to some people in chat. We got Matt Poole checking us out again. What's up, Matt? It's good to see you, buddy. It's certainly nice to be back, streaming and seeing these people. And wait, is that Chris? Is that UKRifter?
I am here.
Yes.
You were just talking away so nicely. I didn't want to be honest, the reason I didn't say anything is I was so mesmerized by Don's beard. He's got this kind of goatee thing going on. It's so attractive.
I was like it too. I didn't get a chance to tell him.
So, well, thank you. It's getting colder here in Missouri, so I kind of
grown a massive hairy beard. You've got a goatee going on. I've got nothing. I'm like bald. So,
well, see, the thing is, what I've learned is I decided I was going to grow up my hair just because I'm in Florida, and I couldn't do it in the Midwest without people being like, "How much meth is she taking?" So I decided to grow my hair out now, and then as I do it, when I shave, I'm like 12. So it's like, all right, so I can look like a 12-year-old guy with long hair, or I can grow the beard, and people are like, "That's a man. That's a man."
I can whittle myself back to maybe 38 with a shave, but that's about it.
There you go.
Not 12.
What happens?
We've got IG83 in chat as well. IG83, what are you doing there? Get in here.
What's
going on?
I mean, literally. Okay, so at this point,
and IG83 jump in, and Billy,
then the entire team would be here for the first time ever. I think.
Christ's sake, it works on your mobile. You can do it on your mobile.
In here. All right. Yeah.
No, I shouldn't read it, but I was late as well. Sorry, guys.
You were.
My son's birthday today.
So you were doing that thing with Sad Gamer Dan, right?
Yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us.
Who, me?
Tell us.
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I I feel really bad. We were going to do something. He wanted to do the balloon chair death match, and he sorted it all out, and then I couldn't do it because my son was doing some stuff. So sorry, and I did apologize.
I never got to do that yet, but other people did it, and I never watched the videos of it. I just saw the headlines of
it's
the videos,
great fun,
and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, you got to do it. I think we all need to get in there for a bit.
That'd be fun. I haven't played it yet either, but it looked great. I saw you and Kaz and Cherry playing on your video.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really fun.
Yeah. They are my favorite Dutch people. Brilliant. And I'm drinking.
He said he's coming in. What?
Great. Hop House 13 lager. I highly recommend that. It's great.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I've seen that before, actually.
Guinness.
Staying away from alcohol today. I consumed
Oh, yeah,
too much yesterday.
I got
Probably
the
shouldn't
iced
talk
tea
about your
wagon, so,
exploits.
yeah.
Well, wait.
No,
It was a week ago that you and Chris were together drinking some alcohol in VR, if I remember correctly.
Drunken bar.
Right around podcast time, actually. If I recall.
Virtual alcohol. Yeah, yeah, that was embarrassing. I think that was a bit of a mess up with the time zones or something.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it was
didn't hear
right
anything
after the
from anyone.
time
I was like,
change, so I think everybody
oh,
got
it's obviously
really
not happening.
messed
What
up.
happened was you guys were in there, and I was here, and I had actually started to set the stream up to where I had you and Greg at the same time on the same screen. The problem was it was a little bit delayed, so I was working on getting the latency perfect, and then you guys stopped the stream. And I was like, I just had it perfect. And so, and Greg and I ended up playing ones instead. So that's what happened.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a great time. It was free that weekend.
It was. Ones is actually surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. Looking at the screenshots, it was a lot more fun than I was expecting.
Yeah, talk about real quick. You pick your spells, and you can, so everybody can, have a wand, but it has different spells built into it. I like that idea. You have up to 4, and it becomes quite competitive. They've got their own Discord channel, and of course, the people that play that game, they know what's up.
Oh yeah.
When they were watching me play on the stream, they were just like facepalm, like this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Which I can understand that. I'm sorry for making them feel that way.
So
I still had fun.
So going back to what we were talking about Oculus Go earlier, fake ID is a fraud. Wants to know Vive Focus or Oculus Go?
Vive Focus.
Because that's HTC's got their standalone coming out as well.
I was
Santa
wondering about
Cruz.
What was
I
that,
don't know
Greg?
much about it, to be honest.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Santa Cruz,
Santa Cruz.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Cruz.
I don't know.
is the best thing ever.
I think Oculus Go will be good. I honestly do. I think it will be really good. I know it's just effectively, a Samsung, whatever you call it, but I still think it will be fun. So I don't know. I might get one. I don't know. I might hold out for the Cruise.
I think there's definitely a market for it, yeah. Definitely. For people who are interested in mobile VR that don't want to go and spend like 800 quid on mobile VR to make their mobile VR good, then yeah, Go's definitely a great idea. 100%, because mobile VR, I mean, depends where you are in the world and how your mobile contract works. But if you don't have a pay monthly subscription and you're buying that stuff, it's very expensive for what you're getting compared to the price of PC or console VR. So there's definitely a market for it.
Do you think there's a market for real? Do you think there really is a market? Because it seems like VR is a complete afterthought. I don't think anyone buys a Samsung phone or even like a Daydream device because of the VR aspect of it. It's like, oh, it does VR too. I'll play with that.
Yeah, they tend to get it free with the contract.
Well,
Exactly.
and I think that's why we see millions of Gear VRs out there, because people already had the phone. So that does bring up the point: is somebody going to spend $200 just for the VR?
Well, that is a good question. Something that we'll find out very soon, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, I think yes. I think it's a brand new, device. We used to have these little, PlayStation handhelds and all those different things. The difference with getting that is that in the future the kid wants the Go, and the cool thing about the Go is his parent might actually get to play with it too, and his sister might get to play with it, and grandma can play with it. So it's got more uses than just one of those other things. So I think that because the fact that it's multifaceted, multiple people can actually use it, that's going to really encourage people to buy them, give them as gifts. The fact that you don't have to take the phone out of it.
Touching on, well, yeah, we definitely don't want to take the phone out of it after we smashed my phone, taking it out of it.
I'm with you there.
Yes, but kind of going back to what Greg was saying, without having a cellular contract as well, I think it's going to be a lot more giftable as we kind of approach the holiday season here. Obviously, it's not not going to be ready for this holiday season, but it's going to be something. Grandma can spend $200 and get little Johnny a Oculus Go. And then he starts showing it to his friends, and then that's kind of how we start to see that mass adoption flow.
Hello, Mrs. Rifter.
Hey, it's Penny.
Hello. Say hello.
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 Oh yeah.
So we want to know, what has been the best VR experience you've had this year, or have you had some this year? We know.
Well, I think the only thing I've played very recently was where I had to run across a road, a bit like Crossy Road, and I just kept getting hit by cars.
Oh, that's called.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What is that called?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I was
very
really,
memorable.
really rubbish at it. I just kept getting killed.
Well, I haven't played that one. It's good. You need to sit there and play. What is it? The From Other Sons. You need to let him play that one, or you need to make Chris let you play that
From
one.
Other Sons. I'll remember that one. It's called VR Jogger. That's the one it was called.
Yeah.
Not very good at that. But From Other Sons, I'll have a go at that.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Okay.
That's the best thing ever.
It's good to see you.
Cool. Lovely to see you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now I'm in trouble. You know.
Yeah, don't tell her about the good VR stuff. She'll never get off it. Anyway,
Exactly. I don't know. Since I've gotten Stacy into it lately, and yeah, same thing. It's a good thing I have like 3 of them now. So
we're not going to sit on this subject, but we can tell the world is talking about it a lot right now. And just because this is an all guys VR podcast talk does not mean that we are not for women in VR. We are very much for women in VR, and we empower women in VR all the time. And if you are a woman in VR,
they don't want to hang out with us. They just don't want to hang out with us. This is the problem.
Yeah.
We'd love to have some women in VR with us on this stream, but they just no.
been that way since junior high. I don't see it changing any now.
Just getting that out of the way. All right, back to VR, just in case anybody was wondering. All right, see, it's encourageable. I did see IG83 was jumping into Skype, so hopefully he could maybe jump in here and talk with us a little bit.
Well, that'd be great, man.
Brandon, if you could jump in here for a little bit, that'd be great. Mr. Billy, we got a few minutes left where I at least want to talk a little bit more about some cool stuff. Plus, I did have to, Chris, in GameHard, if you're watching, you guys are 3D printers, you'll love this.
Let's have a look at this. Whoa!
Whoa,
that
like
Vars mode.
So this
Activate.
one actually, I printed a half a kilo spool or whatever, and it ran out, so it was going to be this tall, but it couldn't quite get.
Yeah, that ruined it. That ruined it.
It was.
Throw it away. That last inch.
Well, so okay. My wife has actually been really getting into Blender, and she's been watching tutorials online. So she's been trying to make her own vases. So that one's one that I downloaded, but she's got several that she made, and I just got done printing one of hers. Okay. So my thing is, I'm going to get her a Delta printer just for her vases that she can keep, for her. And so
that's
this
great.
guy that I just put together for pretty cheap, and it's way
That's amazingly cool. What's the max height you can get out of that then?
600 millimeters. It's just freaking.
Wow, that's not bad.
But it's a DIY. You put it together. You could realistically make this like, I don't know. It wouldn't be hard to make it yourself. You just have to have all the parts for it. But yeah, that's incredible that you can.
I'll make one of those. I want to make one of those with. What's it called when it's got the free trackers and it's like a 3D?
It's a Delta style.
Delta. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So I wanted to show that guy. I just got finished with it. So working on that video today.
Ray of Minneapolis says, I was a woman in VR once upon a time. That's nice to know, Ray. Thanks.
Not kidding. Don't have to be ashamed, my friend. None of us here on the VRSpies podcast are ashamed. In VR, you can be whatever you want to be.
You can be anything you want to be in virtual reality. That's right.
Sometimes,
this is going wrong, as usual.
And other times, you're like a Twinkie, a cake sandwich, and it just changes all the time.
IG says he needs the link. The one
I've Skyped it to him.
Yeah, okay.
Look, it's in Skype. Honestly. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I just had another attack from Skype since we've been on this podcast, so it's gone off my computer as soon as this podcast comes. That's twice in about a month.
In the Discord.
If random people on Skype say hi.
Look at this. Caleb, check it out.
Don't accept it.
This is not exciting for you American chaps. But look what I bought from my supermarket.
Oh hell yeah!
Look at that. You can buy them in the UK now. That's like
wait, you couldn't get them
at all. I thought Hostess shut down.
USA right there.
Oh damn!
Somebody
couldn't live without my Hostess.
Yeah.
Obviously,
they were going bankrupt or whatever, and then somebody was like, "No, bring back the Hostess." Somebody bought them out. The name's too popular. They couldn't let it die.
So, have we done what have we been playing in VR this week?
To a point, but go, man. You weren't here.
What have you done?
I don't know what we've been playing. Well, as Penny said, that VR jogger. There's a couple of kind of crossy road things, VR jogger, and another one called Jaywalker VR, which looks a little bit more simple, but possibly a bit more fun. I haven't tried that one yet. And the only other thing I jumped into very quickly was Operation Warcade, which again is pretty unpolished, but it's actually really fun. It's like you're in an arcade and you grab this little shooter gun thing, and then all of a sudden you're sort of in the game. And it's kind of a little bit cliche, but it's really nicely done. That's pretty much it as far as new stuff's concerned.
So cliche stuff is awesome as long as it's, as you said.
Yeah, no, as long as it's fun, man. I tell you, I had a lot of fun this week playing the updated content in Carnage Chronicles, and I know Greg, you did a stream of that one.
Yep.
Carnage Chronicles is really good nowadays.
You guys have made me want to check that out.
No, it's seriously they've put a lot of work into it, a lot of new animations, a lot of work into the inventory system. So I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's even sort of interactable cutscenes now that weren't there before.
Yeah, that one cutscene's like literally standing in the damn Dark Crystal. It's insane.
Right. Haven't you guys heard of Shadow Core? I recently got a message about Shadow Core.
Nope, I don't know that one.
Interesting. It's like a FPS first-person shooter. What does it say here? It is. I'm trying to read on it. Shadow Core is a hero FPS light virtual reality action-paced multiplayer shooter. It just seems like it could be kind of fun. It is a multiplayer shooter game, but instead of being like Pavlov or like the games we're used to playing, you're out there in space. It's kind of like Halo. It looks a lot like Halo style, actually, but FPS. It looks a lot of fun too. So hopefully we can play that one pretty soon. Let me see if I can throw that on screen. Yeah, here's some video of it. Shadow Core came out November 1st, so just 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it looks they've got a lot of Halo ambiance to it. So
it looks like Wayne's still having trouble getting in. Yeah, it looks like.
Don't worry, I figured it out. I'm getting him in here. He'll be here in a couple of minutes.
Right on.
Couple of minutes. I need the link. The one there ain't showing. Okay. Dang.
Two shakes. Lamb's ass.
If anybody's in chat that wants to, tell us about an awesome game that we need to know about, let us know. If there's something that you guys are playing that we think's pretty cool.
We literally can't see the wood for the trees sometimes, can we?
No.
There's just so much stuff out there, and you miss the good stuff sometimes.
Hooker Gaming, what's the most psychologically messed up game that you guys have played VR that's left a lasting effect even after you took off the headset?
Ooh, I can answer this one. I reckon actually, and I think Greg will say the same thing.
What was the question before you say your answer, Chris?
What was most psychologically impacting, like frightening or psychologically disturbing experience you've had in VR? I reckon, and I can't remember it, and Greg, you'll have to help me with this. What's the one where you're strapped to a wheelchair and you get stabbed in the chest with a pair of scissors?
Oh my God! Yes.
Dread Eye.
Yeah. Yes.
That's actually back on Steam now.
Yeah, you said it's going to be a game.
Yeah, but one thing, it used to run really well in the DK2. It's got horrific latency at the moment for CV1. Horrific.
Really?
Which I was quite disappointed in. And another thing that kind of disappointed me a little bit, the crazy Chinese woman that stabbed you at the start has been Americanized.
What?
Yeah, they've done the same as they did with the Ring.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the page now. There is a free demo to download. Looks pretty much, well, it looks similar, but
you look scary, Chris. You should talk deep, dark voice.
Have a look at it. Right, okay, don't worry.
Here we are in the bright light. Hi, everyone. Now Chris talks.
Hello. Sorry. Yeah, it's on Steam. There's a VR demo, and there's a full experience as well by the look of it.
Is the full experience out now?
I don't know. I just shut Steam because it was shutting down my computer, having it running. Sorry, but yeah, I think it was, but don't quote me on that.
Well, it may be better now then, because I've only tried the demo. The full experience wasn't available when I tried it.
I'll have to man up and try it again because that just that definitely messed with my head.
It wasn't that it was scary; it was just horrific. You know what I mean? Just really horrific.
Well, it's a feeling of powerless. You're strapped to the chair. It's just coming at you with those scissors, and you can't move.
My wife always watches.
Wait, I gotta chime in. Billy, Resident Evil is the scariest thing, and I just tried that for the very first time 2 days ago. And man, let me tell you, he ain't kidding. That has got to come to PC VR. Sorry.
What makes it so scary?
I'm gonna play it anyway.
The characters being 1-to-1 size, the crazy wife coming at you with the knife and the slashing and just up in your face, and I mean, it was real. I mean, it literally, my heart started pounding, and I don't usually get that when I play horror games. So,
yeah, Technolust is something Ray talked about in there. I still haven't actually played the new updated Technolust myself, so actually unsure of that. Hey, we lost Greg.
yeah.
Well, we apparently can't get everybody in here. I'm not sure why it's not working for everyone.
Technolust was one of those games, wasn't it, that was so hyped in the early days, a bit like oh goodness me, Eve Valkyrie and things like that. Everyone got so excited about it that basically when it came out, it was almost like such a muted sort of applause. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's fair because I've heard it is quite good, but it just didn't get the attention it probably deserved. You know,
the big update that Blair did to the game, I mean, it really it's very good. It's still a little short for my taste, but he's definitely got some better content in there than what we had back in the DK2 days.
I haven't played it. I can't say, unfortunately.
What game were we talking about?
Technolust.
The new updated version. I mean, I played the original way back demo, but not since it actually turned into more of a game. There's a lot of games that are just, kind of coming out. I mean, you hear about them, but you don't actually get to play them, or at least in my case. And that's one thing I definitely don't want to let happen on the really good ones. So I do think, though, that for the most part, the really, really good games, and I'm sure there's a few that get missed, but they still have a base today. Obviously, people like certain things like Onward. I know people still play Space Pirate Trainer, so there certainly still are some games that came out months and months and months ago, years ago even, and that are still being played. But
I think that's going to happen for the short term because you've got new people coming into VR just finding these games for the first time.
Right. And not only that, people that have been watching these for a year and a half, wanting to play that one game, and then they finally got their headset, because it's becoming much cheaper. Shoot, for $350, you can buy a headset during the holiday now, and that's just a crazy,
That's great.
We spent $800 on these things.
Oh yeah. I don't understand it. I don't understand how these people can have gaming PC and not just push that little bit further. I mean, these guys are willing to spend equivalent money on a wheel, and won't spend it on a VR headset, and it would just, well, I just can't imagine why they wouldn't want to do it. It's almost like, I guess they just haven't experienced it, right? It's one of those things you have to sort of jump into to understand. So
it's one of the VR's biggest problems, getting people to see it for the first time.
Right, and then I mean, you got to find your niche. I mean, some people love art and they can play the art programs all day. And I mean, I tell you honestly, if I never knew about games and you were just to show me the art side of VR and say this is all there is, I would be so happy. There's so much to do with just that. Games like Quill where you can zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and draw and then zoom out. And I mean, you can create whole universes and then animate them. So I mean, that's just so much fun. And then you talk about the game side, the experience side. I mean, really, we've talked about this a lot, but VR can cover so many categories, including everything. So it's really just, what do you find of value in VR? For me, the most valuable thing that I find for VR, obviously, is a connection between people. That's my biggest thing, is a connection between other people, is the ability for me to sit at home, be a hermit like I usually am, and still actually have friends and still feel like I'm kind of doing stuff. I still go outside every once in a while, and I still go do things in public, but for the most part, I'm a homebody. And
that's so highbrow, Caleb. I just like to shoot people in the face.
Yeah. Well, that's the second urge, though. For me, it itches the games. and competitive. You know, I like to be competitive, and I was searching for flag football constantly, but now I'm playing Echo Arena. It's like it hits that competitive edge, kind of like Halo did for me when I was a kid. You know, I love. You know, anytime you can be in the top 3 in Halo, you're like, I'm amazing. I'm the best. So it's just it's nice to be able to compete with other people, and I don't know, VR. Obviously, we have all these other things that you can do with it, you know, for medical reasons and other great, you know, uses for it. It's just that for the average person, you know, I think it's going to be really focused on gaming, art, and communication. I mean, it's really the main 3. So
at the moment, VR really just is gaming, because the only place you can really get VR software is either Steam or Oculus Home. There are other places, there are websites that you can download demos in from, but generally they're all gaming demos.
Yeah,
right. I know there is kind of a, you know, I agree with you. At the same time, the people that are like in the business world, such as schools or hospitals, you know, the applications that they're creating and paying for, there's certainly nothing that you can get in Oculus Home. They're spending their own money, so this is going to be their program and their, you know. So I know that there's a lot of that going on out there right now. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to, you know, hear too much about that stuff lately. So I'm sure it's just exploded in the last year.
There's tons of industries now starting to adopt that as a method of training. You know, I know it was kind of a joke when it came out like a couple of months ago, but like even freaking KFC had that virtual escape room, which I finally got to work, by the way, and it was the creepiest. It just started working when I got the latest Oculus. I went back and I was like, I'm going to try the hard way again, and let me tell you, it is the creepiest freaking thing I have done in a while in VR. It's like Colonel Sanders is just freaky, man.
Yeah.
So plan on doing a little video of it, even though it's kind of old news from a couple of months ago, because it's obviously unreleased. You know, you can't just go download this. This is something that was from KFC internal, and just playing it is very high quality. It's very well done, but it is just it'll make you think twice about wanting to eat at KFC because it's just creepy. So,
but you know, hook me up with that one, Don. It looks like my link is no longer valid. So, and
I'll hook you up. I've still got the executable. So
I appreciate that.
But yeah, you know, but I mean making a joke out of that. But we are starting to see virtual reality used as an industry-wide training tool in a lot of different things. We're seeing it in retail. We're seeing it, you know, branch out into multimedia, into VR theaters, into VR arcades. So I think gaming is the central focus, but I really feel over the next 5 to 10 years, the combination of virtual reality and augmented reality across all sectors is going to explode.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm in no way saying that VR is not going to progress from gaming, but just where we are just now, that's what it is. And I think one of the problems with that as well is developers kowtow to these stupid fucking journalists that just spout shite and try and stop VR from succeeding.
Yeah.
You know? And developers seem to be petrified of that at the moment from my perspective anyway.
Well, I got to, swing. This is all full circle here because I'm reading in the chat, and, you know, we're talking about how, you know, obviously we've got these different training things that VR is good for, and there's skepticism about VR all over. And really, like, it's just so funny because people have been talking about this stuff not for, you know, 1, 2, 3 years now. This subject has been going on for 25, 30 years now, and it's actually the same subject. So what I find really interesting is when I start researching virtual reality from the 1980s, you know, literally they're saying, hey, this is going to be great for medical. This is going to be great for psychological things. And it's like, yeah. And then we see these things now that are like, people are using this for medical industry and they're using it for psychology. It's like, well, yes, this is what they've been saying they were going to do for 25 years.
I think I'm in, gents.
Hey,
Yo. Very well.
Good to see you.
See you, my friend. If you can possibly cam to work, but otherwise, hearing your voice is still just nice.
It is nice.
That's Gamer 83.
That psychological point. I mean, just to segue into something. It was a couple of weeks ago. I had a chap send a message to me about. He was from like a mental health charity, and he released a 360 video of his band, like, and they put it together as a kind of VR experience. And the guy was like kind of raising money and raising awareness, I guess, for mental health issues in young people. And I've been sort of tweeting it out there and trying to, I don't know, promote it as best I can. And I'm very pleased to say it's actually my most popular tweet I've ever made. I think I got over 5,000 retweets on it, which is more popular than anything else I've ever tweeted by about a factor of about 4,990.
It's amazing when you try to do things for yourself. It's like now, but you try to help other people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're down for that."
Hey, look at my video. No way, mate. Hey, look at this other guy's video. Oh yeah, great. Retweet.
Well, do you remember what that video was called?
Good cause. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. As I started talking before, I better back this up with some actual information. Can't find it anyway, but I'll get back to you in a minute.
Not a problem. And yeah, Wayne, if you are wondering, if you go into your browser, you should be able to select the camera that the program's
There it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, but like my actual camera's not displaying. It's showing us HTC Vive.
Skype or OBS or anything else open might be capturing it.
Yeah, maybe I'll kill it off and see if I'll change anything else. Sorry, I think I'm disrupting the old.
No,
read, you know what I mean?
No, man, we're just happy as hell to have you in, man.
You're not a disruptor. You're a part of the harmony.
It's good to have you back. Yeah.
My God, if we could get Billy and Gamehard in here, we'd have everybody.
Oh, yeah, mate, that's done it. You know, that's done it.
Billy.
Come on, Billy. It's called "Dancing in the Shadows," the song by the Oven Ready Band, and it's about kind of it's sort of an analogy for dancing in the shadows with mental illness. I think the guy who's like the lead singer or something was like he made the national news as having this kind of mental health problem, and so that's how I got to know about it. But yeah, it's called "Dancing in the Shadows" by the Oven Ready Band, so check that out.
How do you unmute your camera? I've got it there. I can see it. Oh, hang on. Boom. Fucking modern technology.
Boom.
Look at that guy.
Nice. What's up? Hey, he's shaved clean. Last time I saw you, buddy, you had quite the beard.
It's all the rage nowadays. Sort yourself out. Sort yourself out, mate.
I'm making an effort and that for you guys, you know. So, I'll probably move that a little bit. Sorry. There we go.
All right.
So Wayne, what have you been up to in VR this week?
What's your VR?
I started a brand new Vivecraft server because I'm in need of an open world, and I'm seriously super excited for like the LA Noire coming out. We're able to fully explore the open world of that. Fallout coming out again, and you know, I'm super excited for that. So I think I just need to get my fix of open world gameplay at the minute. So I just jumped in a bit of Vivecraft.
Nice. I completely understand your feeling for that. I know Zim has a VR Minecraft world as well. I'm not sure if his is open for other people to join or whatnot, but I've been feeling the urge to get in as well. Were you in by yourself?
I was lonesome. Yeah, I was lonesome, mate. I was doing it. I'm down for it, man. So if you fancy it, thing is, you're pretty extra, aren't you? You're quite.
It's been a while.
When you start though, you get on it and you're proper on it, aren't you? So.
It's been a while. My whole goal is in Minecraft is to make sure we can all have enough of everything. So I try to make that possible.
And I promise I won't blow up your house this time.
Yeah.
No, I know. That was bad. We don't talk about the house destruction.
Wait. We got Rowdy Guy in chat talking about LA Noire. Will it have an open world?
Well,
yes.
As far as I understand, I thought it was just like 3 or 4 of the areas that are specifically curated.
This is like Reddit confirmation, mind you. Do you know what I mean? The actual sources themselves. Basically, you get seven hand-picked quests from the main game, and during that, you've got like an apartment as well that you can go to like as a hub, and then from there, you can also do like free roam. Interact with vehicles and actually like explore the open space. So have a look on Reddit in the last couple of days on the Vive Reddit, and you'll see something basically just confirming that it's the open world aspect of it is in there. So I'm going to spend hours just looking at that. Yeah. It's I'm super excited.
December's going to be a bit of a difficult month to handle, really, isn't it? Because you've got LA Noire, you've got Doom VFR, you've got Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a difficult one to deal with.
It's like the
It's a
bus
whole
analogy, isn't it?
You know.
So it's like, but buses in the UK, do you know what I mean? Like you get fuck all for ages, and then 3 turn up at once. So you know, very similar to that.
Well, thankfully Doom's coming out on the 1st, so we'll probably have enough time to fly through Doom before the other 2 come out, you know?
Yeah.
Many games coming out. It's too
Yeah.
fast. We've got
First
From
one,
Other
probably.
Suns. We've got Doom. We've got Fallout 4. So many.
Of course, Skyrim as well. I mean, I've not got a
Skyrim.
PSVR, but like fucking hell, that's making me think I want to buy one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you do know that the early next year they are going to be swapping over Fallout and Skyrim.
Yeah.
And that's been confirmed by Bethesda. I think it was either GameSpot or IGN. I saw that.
Yeah. And Tested guys also confirmed that the dodgy 3D sort of sizing issues that they had on some of them has all been sorted now as well. So it should look. So hopefully that translates into Fallout as well. So there won't be any issues, and everything will look nice and 3D and pop out, and you know, like just be like there. I can't wait.
I can tell that makes you happy there, buddy. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be really excited for that. And I think for the first time, I mean, I stayed away from it. I've just stayed away from it. I mean, I'm a big fan of the series. I played it way back when on the Xbox, and you know, I'm just excited to jump in VR, kind of brand new, fresh, and it's gonna be exciting.
I'm just excited for the motion control support. I mean, you know,
just holding the gun.
We all worked and got that thing tweaked so well with Vorpix that it was, you know, really good, but just still lacking having my hands in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can't wait for that. And you know, if one thing we know about modders as well, just because there's not going to be like an SDK or a creation kit is open from day one, the modders will still be hard at work, whether it's texture replacers or whatever. I can guarantee you that one way or another, there's going to be mods, whether Bethesda, you know, intended or not.
They're saying at the moment no, but they're saying they're not ruling it out in the future as well.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but
initially,
officially that's their stance on it. But I can pretty much, I'd pretty much bet 50 quid. I'd be down to bet 50 quid right now that within the first 2 weeks you'll see texture replacer mods.
Yep, I just want that Skyrim Online mod for it. That's, you know, Skyrim Online is releasing, whatever it's called now. I can't remember what they've called it, but that's releasing in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And being able to mod Skyrim VR if it comes to PC with the online mode, they recommend playing with 8 players and going out and questing with 8 of your friends would be bonkers.
That'd be a good crack to actually have a look at that, just for the sake of looking at it as well. That'd be pretty decent. Yeah.
So Joe Galoka in chat says his only issue with VR games right now is that you know, they don't keep him by his computer for hours and hours like PUBG can. And you know, I think my response to that would be, you know, games like Fallout 4, I think will definitely keep you by your PC for hours in VR. And second to that, you know, games like Echo Arena, competitive games that are kind of, you know, more sporty, they allow you to keep playing over and over and over again. Also like shooters, like Onward, you know, those games. I mean, really, I played Pavlov with you guys and those different ones. I mean, time just melts. It does. 2 hours flies by so quick. So and anytime you're playing a competitive game with friends, you know, whether it's sporty or shooter, I think that those games can really keep you.
You're absolutely right. And I have to say it again, I'm going to keep talking about it. Bullets and More, Royale mode. That is PUBG, so just jump in there. It's amazing.
I want to get in there with you. I was going to get in yesterday with you, but I had to edit that stupid video. And I was like, do I play with Chris or do I edit my video? Do I put...
Yeah, honestly, man, I really would look forward to that. It would be fantastic if we could get the whole gang in there.
It's definitely on my radar, man. I finally jumped into Onward for the first time last night, and like Caleb was saying, time went away. I expected I was going to jump in, kind of get the mechanics down. 2.5 hours later, I'm still in there. You know.
Yeah,
so,
I got to say, BAM is. We tried a couple of other levels playing with Zim on Friday, and we tried like the virus infection level, which is basically the same as Left 4 Dead versus mode, except you've got one zombie type, and that's the hunter, and it's fantastic, right? You can walk up to a wall, just sort of grapple up the side of the wall, both hands on the wall. You can yank down like that, and you fly up in the air and sort of land on people. It's absolutely brilliant. Really makes your stomach go, but it's absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, nice.
I found as well, when it comes to time spent in VR games, some of the games that I've spent the most time in are games that I wouldn't actually play or even enjoy on a monitor. Being racing sims and flight sims. I've never looked at them on monitors before. Project Cars 2. Project Cars. I wouldn't have even played that on a monitor. I've got 260 hours in VR. Elite Dangerous, I'm over 1,000 hours. I've mentioned that a few times. It's nothing new there, but these are games that I wouldn't even have looked at on a monitor.
And Modbox as well, I've got well over 100 hours in Modbox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We do get some comments. Mic levels are all over the place. And I do want to say, we know. We
just don't care.
We deal with it.
No, we care.
This is what we deal with. Greg is piercingly loud, and that's how you hear Greg. If you
it's just my voice.
Him piercingly loud, then you don't hear him correctly. That's just the way you're supposed to hear him. Just so you guys know. Just that is what.
So we meant to do that then, yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's completely normal. Wayne always sounds like he's talking from like some studio, with a cloth in front of his mic or something.
Is that any better?
No, you sound perfect, buddy.
Yeah.
Is this any better? Yeah. Is that right, everybody? Does this make you happy?
That's how he talks.
All right. Yeah. All right. Wait. Yeah.
Killing me, man.
I know. See, we don't have Paul. No shit, Caleb. Yes. I really want to play BAM. When you said that, Chris, it makes me really want to get into BAM. So I'm definitely going to do that soon. That's going to be one of my things for this next week. Hopefully next time we talk on our next podcast, I'm going to say BAM was excellent, and here's what we did. I'm the quiet one, huh? I know, and I wasn't quiet when we started. And then when they all joined, I became quiet.
Well, apparently when we first started, Caleb, we were all quiet because there was no volume.
Right.
But, yeah.
True.
Just
True. I don't know what. See, if I quit and come back, I'll be loud again. So, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and try to talk like this just for a second then. So, anything you guys want to talk about before we end the podcast? Because we gotta jump out of here so we can actually play some of these games and do some recordings. And I actually have to get into what is that? An Echo Arena match. The tournament. ESL tournaments are today. So.
Okay. I think I've adjusted my volume to be ridiculously loud now. From Other Sun, are we allowed to talk about that?
I think
not talk about the game, no, because it's still embargoed.
Not allowed to talk about it, no.
We're not going to talk about the game. It's fantastic. I didn't say that.
About the game, you just can't talk about
you
can't talk about our experience playing it, or
you can't talk about it in the review sense, given any information, really.
You can give factual statements. You can just give it, if it's a fact, give a factual statement.
I'm rubbish at this.
Not an opinion.
Let me just consult with my lawyer. Yeah.
I think we got it pretty much spot on there.
Apparently comes out soon. That's as much as I can say. Yeah, but we're playing it tonight, aren't we? Who's playing after this stream from Other Sun?
May or may not be, yes.
We may or may not be playing it.
It is working with Revive as well. It is working with Revive.
Okay. Working with Revive?
Right.
It's working with Revive, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I imagine
it's not as good as it would be not native, but it is working, and it's it's working. It looks very nice, very nice.
Nice.
We are going to be all over that stuff. I'll tell you. From Other Suns is just so much fun. Apparently, it certainly looks like it might be.
apparently, it's sick. I mean, apparently.
I don't know anything about it. I know as much as you guys. That's as much as I know. Anyway, shut up.
Yeah. Well, I apologize for the mic situation, and now I'm capping it. So I tried to turn it up, and now it's being really weird.
Now it's not obnoxiously loud.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. It's near the end now anyway, so don't worry about it.
On the radio chat.
And while we're on the subject of apologies, if anyone actually still watches my fucking dead end channel, I have to apologise for the lack of content on there. Do you know what I mean? Motivation, to be honest, is not being the best. I'm still just doing
other things. You have a lovely looking living room, mate. You have a lovely looking living room. So you're
doing things on the house. Yeah, doing things on the house.
It looks really good, man.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But we'll see. We'll see. You know. But yeah, you know, I'm sure I will. You know, as soon as the bigger games drop, I'll be fucking all over it. So if you are interested in checking out any of that, I'll definitely be pumping out that stuff.
Yes, and I'm going to be playing some games with this guy too. So we're going to have some fun. Man.
Awesome. Any questions from the audience? The United Kingdom of crappy mics. How dare you suggest that Scotland's part of the United Kingdom?
Yeah.
We're a conglomerate.
Greg will have a go at you for that one. Honestly, don't remind him.
Yes, I will stick my chapstick up his hoop.
And on that bombshell.
on that bombshell.
Yeah, we'll
Ray
get
drops the
some
chapstick. I'm out.
Nice one. Well, yeah, hope you enjoyed that, guys. And yeah, I'm sure you enjoyed the company for about the 10 seconds that I provided there. So, yeah.
It's always good to have you.
You bring the glamour and the sexiness to the cast as always, Wayne. So, you know, keep it up, mate.
Oh, you make me blush, man. You make me blush. But yeah, I intend to be in as often as I can. And yeah, you know, I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Nice one.
Peace out.
Cast over and out. Then we're gonna leave it.
Yeah,
he's leaving.
We're gonna leave it.
Cast is out.
That's
I'm
it.
looking off.
We'll see you next week.
Hang up,
Next
Caleb.
week. My mic is getting so bad. So bad.
Yo, what's up there, guys? It's Immersive Gamer 83, and thank you
Like
very
you're
much.
watching VR Gaming Evolve.
What's up, guys? Billy over at Pretty Neat VR.
Cooking and good looking. Welcome back.
Hello, and welcome back to another Reality Check VR video.